Other interesting political news, you have a State Department official confirming they want an open border for Democrat votes, which I was going to say, put another dollar in the conspiracy jar, or the Alex Jones was right jar, because, I mean, this has been a topic, or this has been, well, immigration has been a hot topic in politics for decades, and this has always been the theory, and, you know, why do they want literally 8 to 12 million, or 13 million illegals coming past, was it 38 months, or 39 months now? Why are they doing it? And why did the Biden administration say, yes, okay, have, they were just amnestied people from certain countries, but then Cuba, no, you can't have that, which historically speaking, in terms of politics, Cubans, well, case in point, but they're much more, you know, faith-based and right-leaning. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Project Veritas, who mostly mentally, mostly morally vacuous for kicking James O'Keefe out of his own company, but it looks like they still do a little good reporting, which I was pretty shocked, because again, they've been pretty dormant for almost a year, and I thought they were actually going to be completely disband the whole entity altogether. Now, again, this is brought to you from their main X page. They say, quote, breaking, Biden State Department official admits great replacement is real. They want to change the demographics of the United States. Quote, traditional standard Americans are not leftists. Latin Americans are all leftist. This is just to try to change demographics of the United States. This is about, it's only about 4 minutes long, so it's not too bad. Without too much further ado, looks like they censored they censored the gentleman there. Gentleman, I don't know if it's a restaurant probably, wearing a t-shirt as if he's on vacation sitting alone at home. Ridiculous, but nevertheless.
There's got to be some things that you're like, man, I wish I could tell the world about this.
Oh, there's a lot of things, but mostly with immigration. I wish people knew that we're letting in criminals daily.
The big issue for the Hill, for our region, is migration. So we poured a lot of money into Central America.
Like how much?
$4 billion over 4 years. But now migrants are coming from us there. Right. Like Venezuela.
Somos de nacionalidad venezolana. Tenemos vuelo.
So she says we are of Venezuelan nationality.
Somos de nacionalidad venezolana. Tenemos vuelo para Nueva York.
Entonces le compraste un vuelo con Spirit.
Sí.
So they're asking, how do you buy a flight on Spirit Airlines? And she said, I did.
Sí.
She got a flight for $40? What? I know Spirit is cheap, but it's not that cheap. I mean, that is, I mean, for that price, I think, like someone like me, an average consumer, they have to basically just curl up into a ball and sit into the, you know, the luggage area. But she got it for $40? She says, then we got our CMP, which is a Customs and Border Protection, one appointment. We enter through a point of entry.
So what is the end goal? Why are they allowing it?
They want to change the demographics of the United States.
So our aid goes to female prisons in Mexico.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
To like help train them up.
I'm working with gender issues in Pakistan, so we're trying to recruit, retain, and advance more women in law enforcement. The question becomes, do we...
Wait, why? Why are you not paying for that? I forgot. What? Of course, you can't use... Money has to go everywhere but here, so it seems.
Should we be spending U.S. taxpayers' money in our country on this issue? When is it they don't seem to care about?
Secretary Blinken, how close are you to him?
5 degrees separation. This is such a niche industry that flies under the radar that the average American does not know. Most people don't know what we do.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much.
Yet another reason I like Vivek's idea in terms of just firing everyone in government and building it from the ground up. Because there's a lot of people who do nothing in government, get paid, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars just to sit up, you know, basically do nothing. And there's some people who are actually breaking the law, and even more people that seem to be putting more resources in other countries than our own. Which, it'd probably be a very depressing pie graph or, you know, an infographic. If we were to show, like, all the government the money spends every year, what's the percentage and how much goes overseas? And just show us an infographic of all of our money and show us the top 15 countries or top 20 countries where we just send our tax dollars to. And I can't but wonder, I mean, how much do we keep, how much of our tax dollars actually reinvest into our government here? 50%? 40? 30? Be fascinating and probably depressing little infographic. If someone actually has that, you know, put that in the comments or post in the comments, because yeah, that's something I'd love to see.
You, Ranking Member Risch, all the members of the committee, and thank you for the opportunity to testify today.
He has briefings coming up in 2 weeks.
He has briefings?
Yeah, on the Hill.
About?
The FY 2025 budget request. And that's like with all the congressional people. The big issue for the Hill, for our region, is migration. So,
oh my.
Stop migration. What are we doing to stop migration?
He's not accountable for that, is he?
Yeah, we do stuff for it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
It's called the root causes strategy.
Ooh, how...
It's giving money to support and help people at where the origins of the migrants are, so they feel like they can stay there instead of migrating out. So it's Central America, basically.
It's what?
It's basically Central America, like
right.
Support and development.
Oh.
So we pour
How's that investment been going lately?
a lot of money into Central America.
Like how much?
$4 billion over 4 years.
Oh,
Billions of dollars.
for those places?
It's a lot of money.
We have a lot of homeless veterans in the United States. We have a lot of people that are struggling in the United States. Billions and billions and billions keep going across the globe.
Is it doing anything?
I think for them, yes, but now migrants are coming from elsewhere.
Right.
Like Venezuela, so we're like, oh, this didn't solve that problem.
Oh, no. So what does he say to that? That looks bad for the administration, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it looks bad for any administration because no one solves migration. It's like the end all be all, like kill pill for politics.
Right. And I feel like if anything, the other side's gonna win because of it.
I know. My dad used to complain about that. I'm like, oh, and like in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's not that much. And then I see the chart, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot. Like compared to like 20 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, you see a chart on the screen. It says immigrant share of U.S. population near its historic high. Yeah, that looks like it actually bottomed out in, what was this, 1970? And there's a line that says Immigration and Nationality Act was passed in 1965. And yeah, shortly after that, going up to an all-time high, which again, legal property immigration is many times necessary for a country to grow and develop. And again, if you're a net positive society, we absolutely want the top talent. A lot of businesses would utilize them. I mean, as long as it's properly legally controlled, we do background checks. We know that where these people are coming from. You know, they're safe, and you don't have all these mechanisms where you're having perverse incentives or you're paying people not to work. Again, if you have a legal process, you can securely vet them, and they're a contributing member. That again, yeah. And yet, yeah, now again, not saying all, but there are many instances we're seeing people who are coming into the United States illegally and committing many crimes. Some of them deadly, some of them even murders, and it's not sustainable. Can't think it's just to destabilize the United States, or yeah.
Like, oh wait, they're on to something.
And I don't know what to say to that.
I really don't. I literally don't know.
Like, what would the administration say to that?
I don't know. And like, I sit there too, and I talk with my coworker who like manages the migration for us, for the systems. And we always talk every time. We're like, I don't know what we do. Like, there's no clear answer.
Do they do things within the foreign affairs departments that people have like this money going to these women? I mean, there's got to be some things that you're like, man, I wish I could tell the world about this.
Oh, there's a lot of things, but mostly with immigration, because that's the one that where the left is really controlling immigration. I wish people knew that we're letting in criminals daily. Like when I was in.
I mean, thanks to this undercover reporter, we now know. I mean, we kind of knew already, but yeah, it's kind of sad also how spineless so many people are in life, where they're not willing to take a stand and doing the right moral thing. Yeah, this employee, this government employee could have. I mean, if he wanted to, he could take digital evidence. He could record this on a camcorder, a cell phone. I mean, that's one of the upsides of modern technologies. Anyone can be a reporter. You have a cell phone in your pocket. I mean, the barrier to entry has been diminished to near nothing. Anyone can start a YouTube channel. Case in point. Or more appropriately, well, you say the other alternative streaming or video platform, apparently you get blacklisted even more on the YouTube. So I'll just say the big green one, which I prefer, so I upload there daily.
You have confirmation of that. You have confirmation.
Oh yeah. So all the good, honest, hardworking Mexicans stay in Mexico, and all the pieces of garbage come to the United States. And those are the ones that we let. We are literally, and the Mexican government has no reason to stop it because their garbage goes to another country and then sends money back to them. Like imagine if the worst of the worst, and all the criminals in the United States were all going to Canada and sending back billions of dollars a year. Why would you stop that? I wouldn't even change the numbers of like if we let in 100,000 Mexicans a year. I'm like, let in 100,000 Mexicans a year. Just change the quality of the applicant. Make the say 100,000 Mexicans, but you can't have been in the U.S. illegally, and you can't have a criminal record.
So what is?
And again, I'm not sure how it's sad this has become a political issue, because in theory, everyone should be on the same page of saying someone has a criminal background, or if they've been in the courts have found them being a murderer, yeah, we don't want them to come to the United States. I mean, this is fascinating. This has become a big political issue, which again, if you want to change the whole United States, I guess that's one way to do it.
the end goal? Why are they allowing it?
Truly, they want to change the demographics of the United States. They really do. Because I mean, no, honestly, the people from Nebraska, like my family's like Americans that have, my family's been in the United States for 400 years. Traditional standard Americans are not leftists. Latin Americans all leftists, and it's just, it literally is. It's just to try to change that demographic.
And I'm even more surprised Project Veritas actually did something good. And again, I think they're mostly more like vacuant company for kicking James O'Keefe out of the company he founded. And again, went viral, got 2.6 million views and 19,000 likes. The first comment is coming from Paul Zupa saying, quote, well, it's a quote within quote, he says, "The truth is they want to change the demographics of the United States." That says it all. Got 454 likes. You have the Office meme where you have Jim pointing at the whiteboard. And this is from Libercat Media TM, says, "Isn't it high crimes and misdemeanors, aka treason, by the U.S. government against its own people?" Yeah. And Jim is pointing to the whiteboard, says, everything horrible that they said would happen under the orange ban. And he, what's the second pose? Him looking, was he smirking? He says, actually happened under Pedo Man. Got 1,000 likes. Sherry Ohio says, "Yes, they want another third world country. That's not what our forefathers fought for." Getting 530 likes. See here. See. Going down more and more. This is from, well, it's the same video a couple times. Was it, how long is that? 53? From Wall Street Silver. And Don Marie said, "Listen, now you will understand it's all by design. The person sitting next to him is none other than the man in charge of the border, Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas." Which, how does he still have a job? Again, example of the ineptitudes of the U.S. government and being unfireable in a government position. A cush job. If anyone failed this epically in the private sector, they'd be gone like that. Again, estimated between 8 and 13 million illegal aliens have crossed into the United States in the past 39 months. And this guy still has a job? Really? Unless maybe he's just doing what he's told. Let's hear what he has to say. And Biden at least did suit up for this.
An unrelenting stream of immigration. Non-stop. Non-stop. Folks like me who were Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America. Absolute minority. Fewer than 50% of the people in America, from then and on, will be white European stock. That's not a bad thing. That's a source of our strength.
Remember, they told you the Great Replacement theory was a conspiracy theory. And yet, now you have many Republican Democrats who are actually publicly saying this out loud. I got 163 likes. Bitcoin Dange says, "I wish this were surprising, but it's basically just confirmation of the suspicion that most of the same people have had over the last few years." Getting 221 likes. Going down more and more. Here, Raw Crusade R Us. I never saw that section of the Toys R Us department, but nevertheless, says, "So who runs and owns the NGOs that makes millions off of people again? I can't put my finger or nose on it." Okay, 72 likes. Deborah M. Proctor says, "How is this breaking news? It's so damn obvious that a blind person can see it." Getting 101 likes. So, again, it went moderately viral, got a couple million views. And that is one of the top priorities that voters have this year, or I would say this presidential election and this year. It'll be interesting to see how many people, do they vote just based on that? Will that be the singular topic that is the big contributing factor to the 24 election? There are a greater and greater frequency of murders being committed by illegals. Again, not all of them, but we're seeing more of that anecdotal evidence. And it makes sense because you're having a greater sample size moving across the border every single day. So there's going to be more of a frequency of these bad and more vacuous things happening. I'll be interested to see. Let me know in the comments. Are you surprised by this video? Do you think this video will do you think anything will change at the end of the day? Do you think this person will be called to Congress? Will they ever fire Mayorkas for the border policy? Again, it's also something Kamala Harris is supposed to fix. I was told she was, she's really brilliant. Biden said, "You're going to fix the border. Kamala, you're going to fix the border for us. Come on, man." That was one of her jobs. I have no idea what she actually does day to day. She cackles like the Joker, and she likes to speak more awkwardly than a computer. Coming from me, that's saying something because of all my speaking ineptitudes. if I'm talking smack about you, yeah, that's saying something. Which is, again, another friendly reminder to click the subscribe button. When I first started the show, not a lot of subscribers, but as I've gained more subscribers, my speaking has somewhat improved. I used to speak mostly monotone, a lot more stumbling over my words, mispronunciations. However, slowly but surely, I've become more articulate because of thanks of viewers like you. And if you're already tuning in again, you already subscribed, especially appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. Give me some additional feedback. Always looking to make the show better. So again, in terms of the politics, the political implications, because they're a government employee, I doubt they'll actually have any ramifications. They won't even get a slap on the wrist. That's kind of my suspicion of the short-term implications of that video. Now, in terms of the upcoming election, our Trump, I would use this. I mean, this is a perfect commercial. There's a showing people like, hey, here's evidence of the government admitting, yeah, we're letting in not the best. Which again, Trump got ridiculed for and roasted for last time. But quite literally, this person is saying the quiet part out loud. And then pointing out a big issue. Again, there's a huge security vulnerability as well. I mean, to me, that's one of the biggest issues as well, is that we have no ideas across the border. So let me know in the comments what are your thoughts, because as always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.